All right, what's happening? We're going through how to restring a guitar so that you can restring a guitar. So what do you need? You need a guitar, hopefully strings removed like that. Check that the bridge is there. If it's not, make sure it is. And make sure it's on the right way as well. You can see the little intonation marks. G is slanted the other way in case, but there you go. You need guitar, you need strings, you'll need a pair of scissors to snip the strings, and you'll need a peg winder. You don't really need it, but it would be really good to have so you can wind it nice and quick. So, without further ado, let's go through how to restring it. Get out your pack of new strings. You will notice that these are labeled, which is nice and handy. You've got E first. First means the highest pitched string. The E sixth, you can see, is wound. The first string is nylon, and this one is wound. The wound ones are the low ones, okay? So they're all numbered. Go in order. I'm gonna start with the lowest one, because it's a bit easier. All right, so clear table, and we've got our guitar ready, and we've got our string ready. Here we go. Okay, first thing, uncoil the string. You will notice with these wound ones, there are two ends to them. One end is floppier, it's softer, one end is hard. So, first thing you do is string it through the correct eyelet, which is the lowest one, and you can pull through the string. That's kind of how it will sit. All right, now here's how we string it. So, grab the end, go around the string like that, and then tuck it in and do a couple of loops. That's all you need to do. There we go, that's one. I might just go 2 loops. 2 should be enough. Okay, through. And it doesn't look too neat right now, but once we tension it, it will be fine. So there you go, that's tied, that's fine. Okay, now to the other end. Here is the other end of the guitar, where all the tuning pegs are, just to make sure you're getting it all nice and in order. This is a lower string. Number 6, this peg is for the lowest string, and it goes from lowest across to the highest. So this will be the E string on the highest end. Okay, so we're starting on this peg. Okay, what we do is we thread it through, and just so that it doesn't slip, I like to thread it through again if possible. Okay, so you can see after going through the eyelet once, I double it back and put it through again if possible. There we go, and that just tightens the grip on the string. Pull it through. Now this is as much lack as you'll need. You don't need to, wind it from the very end. It's just a waste of time. That is fine. So now we start the winding. If you have a string winder, it will make your life a lot easier. You just got to make sure you're winding it so that the string is along the peg. Okay, so like that. And if you can, try to spiral it inwards. All done. Let's do one on the other end. So now we'll go with E first, which is on the other end of the guitar, the highest string. For this, you need to take a few more precautions. Nylon strings are made of nylon, and so they are a bit slipperier, which means you've got to lock the strings in better, otherwise they will slip out of the eyelets on either end. So here's what we do. First thing, unwind it. Let's go to this end first. Now with nylon strings, there are no ends because it's all the same material. The winding isn't on one side, so it doesn't matter as much which end you're in. All right, so here's what I would do. First of all, thread it through the eyelet. And I would then double it back, thread it through again. Okay, like that. You can see that we haven't tied it in, but it's threaded through again. You can adjust by pushing the string through and all that. I would even do it again if possible. That's just to make sure you've completely secured it, because these strings are pretty slippery. So if possible, go through it again. Let's see if it does work. There we go, 3rd time's the charm. So you can see I've actually wound through the same eyelet 3 times. This is a lot stronger. It's not going to slip as easy. Now we do the same usual tie, which is, I might need more string to do the tie. There we go. Okay. Around and thread it through. Oh, I might need to go around this way. Don't have the most dexterous fingers, so this is taking a bit longer than I thought, but through, and again, through. Okay. Just give me a sec. I just need to lock it on the very end. Okay, this is a little bit trickier than I thought. Around the top and through. So you might run into, troubles like this. You'll get better, and I'll get better as well as the more I restring guitars. Each one is slightly different, so you learn something new each time. Let's go around again. There we have it. Okay. So ideally, I should have a bit more left over so that I can do it again, but that will be pretty secure. You can see that with tension, it doesn't budge, which is great. Let's go to the other end. We do a similar thing on the other end. That's the highest peg. We thread it through, and now double it back. Again, thread it through again, through, double it back, thread it through again, and do it as many times as you can. I reckon 3 times is enough, to be honest. And that's just to make sure that the string doesn't slip. Okay, so once you've got that, time to wind. Let's see if my improv peg winder will work. You can improvise a bit to make certain tools. So there we go. Whoops, there goes the pen. Right. And we'll check that we're winding it the right way. Yeah, it's a bit slower than the other, but it does work. I'm sure you can make a better tool than I can. So there you go. Okay, that's just a waste of time. Let's just use hand. You can hand wind it as well. So you can see along the string and nothing slipping. You can check that when you're winding it, that it's going in order as well, if possible. There we go. So it's spiraling inwards. There's a B. Let's go all the way up to an E. I'm going to use a peg winder. There we go. And if there's extra, you can trim it off with a pair of scissors. But make sure the string is locked on first. You don't want to trim it, and once it starts slipping, you can't repair it. So I give it about 2 centimeters, just in case it slips, it's not going to fall out. Likewise, with the other string, you can trim it as well. There we go. That's how you restring a guitar. Go nuts, enjoy it, see you next time.